This video is for women only. What does Islam have to say about lip fillers? Peace and blessings. Welcome back to Muslim Girl Wellness. And if you're new here, I'm Asia. And this channel is all about maintaining a healthy lifestyle while also keeping Allah at the forefront of our minds. So with that in mind, I wanted to look at 7 popular health and beauty practices and see if these practices are permissible or forbidden in Islam. I think this is a really important topic because there are so many health and beauty practices popping up constantly, especially where I'm from. I'm from California, and there are beauty and health clinics on every corner, and they'll offer hundreds of different services. And it could be easy to give into the hype and get these procedures done without really knowing if these are practices that Muslims can participate into. So I just really like to stay updated on these rulings when it comes to these emerging health and beauty practices. Please keep in mind that rulings can vary because, scholars don't always agree with each other, but the rulings in this video are based on what I found to be the most agreed upon among scholars. But in the end, we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. So let's get into the video. So the first practice I hear talked about a lot when it comes to some extra ways to earn money, with some people reporting earning an extra like $900 in a month doing this. And that is selling your blood, or rather selling the plasma that's in your blood. So we know that selling your plasma can be pretty lucrative, but is it permissible in Islam? So selling your blood or the plasma in your blood is forbidden in Islam. And this ruling is pretty universal among scholars, with many of them noting that the Quran explicitly states forbidden to you is the consumption of blood. And this, coupled with a hadith where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ informs us that whatever Allah has forbidden for us, He forbids for us to put a price on it as well. So the idea is that because Allah forbids us to consume blood, He also forbids us to sell blood and buy blood. What is permissible, however, in Islam and highly encouraged is donating our blood. And it doesn't matter if your blood donation goes to helping a Muslim or a non-Muslim, it's still considered a good deed, and inshallah you will receive blessings for it. So if you are someone who planned on giving your blood, but now you're like, never mind because I can't get money for it, please consider donating your blood in exchange for the blessings of Allah. And we know that Allah's blessings are far greater than any monetary reward we can ever receive in this life. So the next practice actually has to deal with blood too, and it's an ancient form of therapy called cupping. During cupping, a therapist places the cup on the skin and starts to suction it so that the blood will suction to the surface, and it creates these like large bruises where the skin was cupped because it's drawing the blood to the surface. And this can help with like circulation, relaxing muscles, removing toxins, and so much more. So even though cupping has plenty of great benefits, can Muslims get cupping done? Yes, we can absolutely experience the benefits of cupping, and in fact, cupping was performed during Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's life, and we also call it hijama in Arabic. It's even narrated in a hadith that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ informs us that there is healing in cupping. So going by that hadith, cupping is not only permissible, it's also encouraged for our health, but of course, you should make sure that you see a doctor before getting cupping done to make sure that cupping is okay for your body. Okay, so the next practice has really evolved over time, and we've seen some major medical advancements with it, and that is artificial insemination. Artificial insemination is a procedure that can be very helpful when a couple is dealing with infertility issues. And when it comes to Islam, there are some mixed opinions on it still because it is a fairly new advancement, but it seems what scholars have agreed upon is that artificial insemination is permissible to an extent. So, for example, some scholars say that one condition is that a woman can only be inseminated by her husband, and similarly, a husband can only inseminate his wife. So there are some instances, for example, when a man might go to his brother and ask his brother to inseminate his wife because he is infertile and he wants the family's genes to still pass on to the child. And in regards to Islam, this would not be permissible. And these rules are in place to essentially protect the sanctity of marriage as well as lineage. The next practice we often see on our television, with many reality stars and actors and actresses having these, and that is lip fillers. Lip fillers are popular for enhancing the size of the lips and sometimes even changing the shape of the lips to give them a more full appearance. And while this is a major trend in the beauty industry, what does Islam have to say about lip fillers? In Islam, using lip fillers purely for cosmetic reasons is generally considered forbidden. And I say in general because there are instances where someone may get lip filler because they have some sort of deformity in their lips, and the lip filler helps to make it appear more natural. But where the problem comes is when people already have very standard, natural lips, but they go in with these lip fillers in order to achieve this more plump look. And doing that is not permissible in Islam. And this is due to the principle that altering our physical appearance unnecessarily goes against the creation of Allah. There's a verse in the Quran where Allah warns us that Shaitan will try and mislead people to change the creation of Allah. So it's really important that we keep this warning in mind when we're thinking of making any changes to our bodies. And also, most lip fillers are not halal certified, and so they can contain human and animal products that we're not allowed to use, so injecting our bodies with those can raise even more concerns. So the next one, you probably know many people who have these, and that is braces and veneers. Braces and veneers tend to serve different purposes. Braces are usually more for straightening any teeth or closing any gaps, whereas veneers can usually address issues such as like broken or severely damaged teeth. And some people even get veneers just because they want to have whiter teeth. But what they do have in common is that they're actually generally allowed in Islam if it's to help with any medical issues or to correct a deformity. Allah warns us against changing His creation, but He doesn't want us to be uncomfortable or go through any health issues because of any deformities that we have, and that's why scholars say that this procedure is permissible. So, for example, my dentist recommended that I get Invisalign on my bottom teeth because my bottom teeth are crooked and it can make it very difficult for me to floss, which can increase my risk of getting cavities. Similarly, someone with a gap in their teeth might get braces or Invisalign to close the gap so they can reduce the risk of gum infection. However, if you have teeth without these deformities and you're only looking to make them unnaturally white, for example, then this is not permissible in Islam. And this is based on a hadith where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is talking about, may Allah curse the woman who files teeth for the purpose of beauty. So the next practice is widely debated among many cultures and many religions, and that is birth control. So there are various forms of birth control, from birth control pills to shots to the withdrawal method. And ultimately, the general consensus among Islamic scholars is that birth control is permissible as long as each spouse agrees to it and it does not cause anyone harm. But it is important to note that there is no single attitude towards birth control in Islam, with many scholars and other Muslims believing that birth control is haram. However, most scholars permit birth control, noting that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ allowed the use of withdrawal as a form of contraception, so scholars have extended this permissibility to other forms of birth control as well. The next practice has really taken off in pop culture in the last 2 years, and that is GLP-1 injections. And these injections can include Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and I'm sure there are plenty more on the market by now. So what does Islamic law have to say about these trendy weight loss medications? The best answer I can give from doing research is that it really depends on your situation. GLP-1s were essentially created for diabetes, and weight loss was just a side effect. So this medication can be used to help people control their blood sugar and improve their heart health, and using GLP-1 injections for health reasons is absolutely permissible. There's a hadith where Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is narrated telling servants of Allah that for every disease, Allah has created a cure. So go ahead and take your medications. However, if a person has no health complications that these injections are helping them with, and they're just doing it for aesthetic reasons, maybe even to become underweight, then these GLP-1 injections are forbidden for this person. Islamic scholars often warn us against misusing medical treatments for cosmetic reasons. Along with misuse of this medicine not being permissible in Islam, it's also really unfair to the people who need it for medical reasons and they're not able to fill their prescriptions because of the shortages. Please keep in mind that Allah is all-knowing and He knows if we deceive a doctor or a system to get our hands on a medication that we do not need. So those are all the rulings for this video. Please know that going through these rulings isn't to make anyone feel guilty or shame for any of the things that they've done to their body. We've all done things that don't perfectly align with our faith, but what's important is that we continue to learn and we continue to seek knowledge when it comes to these matters so that we can make informed decisions. And from there, we can ask for Allah's guidance and we can also ask for His forgiveness. I'm also releasing a second part to this video, inshallah, so don't forget to subscribe to be notified when that part releases. Take care of yourself and hope to see you in the next video, inshallah. Peace.